Hello everyone. I'm sitting here on a quieter than normal spring afternoon outside of Zion National Park at a time when we're told the best thing we can do for the world is to just stay home. And I thought that would be a really good time to offer you some head to toe warm up exercises from my Tai Chi class for everyone. They're simple and they should keep you fit and help you relax, enjoy your day a little bit more. Stay calm.
So to start out, I want to get you guys into a nice relaxed standing posture. Now follow along with me as we start with a shoulder width stance. Balance your weight between your left foot and your right foot, and balance your weight between the balls and the heels of your feet. Stand with nice, soft, relaxed knees. So just a slight knee flex. Make sure your legs are in line with your hips. Nice upright stance. Sink your abdomen down into your hips. Let your abdomen relax onto your hips as though your hips are a saddle. Tuck your pelvis. Tuck your pelvis so that you're making an upright posture. Now imagine there's a string running from your tailbone down into the ground, rooting you to the earth. You want to feel yourself firmly planted, tugged down into the ground. Make sure your spine is upright, your shoulders are relaxed. You can roll them around a little bit, make sure they're nice and relaxed. Arms are relaxed at your sides. Imagine that string that roots you to the ground, running up through your tailbone, up along your spine, up through your head. Feel that string emerge out of the crown of your head so you feel suspended from the sky. Now that you're in this nice, relaxed standing posture, we're going to take nice, relaxed, deep abdominal breaths. Breathe in. Relax the diaphragm at the bottom of your lungs. This allows your lungs to expand down into your abdomen. By doing that, you really breathe with the full lung capacity. And you use oxygen a lot better. Plus, you stay relaxed. It's really hard to be relaxed or hard to be tense while you're doing a relaxed breath. A lot of Tai Chi Chuan involves circles. That's why you see that ubiquitous yin-yang symbol everywhere. And one of the first circles we can learn today is the circle of breathing. So if you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with the tip of your tongue on the top of the palate in your mouth, you create a little miniature circle with your breath. So, just stand in this nice relaxed posture, taking deep abdominal breaths, and we'll start with warm-up exercises. Our warm-up exercises emulate a lot of the ideas and principles of Tai Chi Chuan. Even though they're not really Tai Chi, they do help move some energy around and get you into the right mode for Tai Chi. So we'll start with neck rolls. Drop your chin to your chest. Roll your chin over to the left shoulder, then roll your chin to your right shoulder, and then back and forth. Now, during the warm-up exercises, I will typically be talking a lot about the principles, philosophy, and history of Tai Chi Chuan, both in China, where it began, and in the United States as it's been adopted here. In this first episode, I'm probably more going to talk about how to correctly do the exercises so that make sure that you're moving in a way that is healthy for you. Now, this exercise is one of the first things that I changed. Back in 1995, when I was doing my first video, I learned that the way I had been doing this as a 360-degree turn was actually really damaging to your spine. So I adapted it to just be a 180. And that's the way I still do it, and I can tell that it feels really good and isn't hurting me at all. So, once you're relaxed in that way, let's move on to small arm circles. So place your hands in front of your chest, elbows pointed out, and begin to circle. Circle frontwards. And like all things in the universe, when you move forward, you'll then move back. When you move up, you'll move down. These circles emulate that principle, because here we are, circling, moving up and down, and circling, moving both forward and backward. All right, it's nice and relaxed. So let's switch directions now. So now we go backwards to front. I mean, really, what's backwards to front? Depending on where you start in this circle. Language is an approximation. The Tao Te Ching talks about how, the Tao that can be spoken is not the essential Tao, and that's because language is just imperfect. But it's all we have. It's the best way I can communicate with you right now. So, make sure you're taking nice deep breaths as we go through these exercises. And that should be good with these. Now, step back with your right foot and forward a little bit with your left. Make sure you still maintain a shoulder width stance here. And place your right foot at a bit of an angle. This helps you stay planted, much more grounded and balanced. Right hand on your right hip. Left hand starting out in front of you. Circle from front to back. Nice big arm circles straight up over your head. Now, Tai Chi Chuan doesn't have belts, doesn't have competition. The whole thing is kind of the antithesis of competition. And the same thing kind of applies to these exercises. If this is hard, if you can't really do a huge circle, do a smaller circle. It doesn't matter. The point is to move. The point is to move smoothly and with coordination, but move to the limits of your body. Know what you can do and practice within that. Okay, let's switch directions. So now go from back to front. One of the first things that you get with Tai Chi Chuan is a body awareness. And that body awareness is one of the things that helps you figure out where you've hurt yourself, where your body isn't really in balance, and where you can fix certain things, and where certain things you just have to live with. And this knowledge, okay, let's switch arms and switch feet. So left foot back, right foot forward, nice shoulder width stance. And the shoulder width is about the width, not the depth. Left hand on your left shoulder or left hip, and here you are with your right hand forward, circle from front to back. So you want to figure out what it is you have to live with your body, and that's one of the reasons that so many medical studies have shown that Tai Chi Chuan is so good for people's balance. It's the most effective exercise out there for preventing injurious falls in senior citizens. And it's this awareness of what your body is, what it can do, that makes that work in the real world. As an example, you got somebody like Bruce Lee, whose one leg was 3 inches shorter than the other. But he figured that out, and he dealt with it. I mean, he couldn't change it, but it didn't slow him down any. Okay, let's switch directions. Now we go from front to back. Some of my students would come to class and say, yeah, I practiced, but I skipped the exercises, and I didn't like the exercises. I have to do these every day. Probably a function of getting a little bit older, but I can wake up and be just a little stiff, a little cranky, And I go through these exercises and I'm ready to be as relaxed as I can be throughout the day. And that relaxation isn't always perfect. Okay, let's switch to some hip turns. Put your feet back parallel. Stand nice and upright. Hands on your hips. And let's turn from right to left. If you stand with your hands on your hips and your thumbs forward, it helps create this upright stance that you want, everything in line with your spine and your center, your dantian. Dantian is just Chinese for center, and you want to move from your center as much as possible. All right, let's switch directions. Okay, boom. Tai Chi Chuan is full of circles. These exercises are full of circles. And circles tend to rotate around a center. It's a principle practiced practically in Tai Chi Chuan and expressed philosophically in so many elements of the Tao. It's part of why you see the yin-yang symbol as a circle. Okay, let's separate. Separate a little bit. And again, this is one of those examples where, hey, if it's not comfortable, only separate as far as is comfortable. Bend from your waist with your hands over your feet. And again, bend only as far as is comfortable. Don't push yourself. But begin to circle from right to left. Okay, so circle. So Tai Chi expresses the yin-yang principle, and it is yin-yang. It's not yin and yang. It's a common misperception, but it says there's a hard and a soft in everything. There's a feminine and a male in everything. There's a positive and a negative in everything. You can affect the balance of how it's expressed by attentive practice. And that's one of the things that we want to accomplish through a daily Tai Chi Chuan exercise. All right, let's switch directions. So hands over your left foot and circle to the right. All right. Now let's do some knee turns. So start with your hands just above your knees and your head pointing up, stretches out your spine, and do some circles. This is another one that changed a little bit. I initially learned with my hands on my knees, and then later found out that that was kind of putting more pressure than necessary on the knees. Put your hands above your knees, and then your hands are just helping support you, not adding pressure. All right, let's switch directions. So go from left to right. This is a good place to talk about how when you take your knee bend, you want to make sure that your knee stays within your toes. If you keep your knees within your toes with any kind of bending, then the weight of your body goes down instead of out. Your knees will take all of the weight of your body, all of the pressure. And if it's extended, then it's far more prone to injury. It's why people get hurt playing racquetball and tennis and skiing, that sort of thing. They extend their knees, and the knee can't take the pressure, and it gives way, and you have an injury. Moving safely is one of the hallmarks of Tai Chi Chuan, and it's one of the reasons that it is such an effective exercise. Okay, let's go on to the next exercise now. So, stand back up, shift your weight fully to the right, and kick out the left. So, this is just sort of a shaking of your leg. You're just loosening up your calf, loosening up your ankle. You know, I call it a kick, but it's not an aggressive thing. It's just a shaking out and relaxing. Tai Chi Chuan is such a gentle exercise because it expresses the principles of safe movement that you can actually do it every day without risk of injury. That's not real common. People get hurt running. People get hurt with so many different things that they attempt to do. But Tai Chi, I mean, is really difficult to get hurt. Okay, stand left and kick right. Not only are you practicing safe movement, but that body awareness helps you understand what your body can and cannot support. And if you move within those limits, then you're doubly safe. All right. So, last exercise. Stand on the right, and it's a balance exercise. So, lift up your left foot and place it up on your thigh. Make sure you take a little bit of a knee flex here. Now, if you're not comfortable with this balance exercise, stand next to a chair, stand next to the wall. Make sure you're safe. So this is a balance awareness exercise. You're here figuring out how your body responds to this. And I don't know about you, but I definitely have different balance qualities with my right leg and my left leg. And let's switch to the left leg now. And I feel this ankle, left ankle gives way a little bit. I hurt it in a hockey skating accident when I was a kid, and it stayed with me. So I have to pay a special attention to the balance on my left side. So, now that we have a sense of centered balance, continuing to take nice, deep, relaxed breaths, I'm going to move into some actual Tai Chi Chuan.
There you go. About 15, 20 minutes of very gentle but effective exercises. I hope they work for you. I do them every morning. They're the only way I can get started in my day. Enjoy.